All right, here we go. So it's been a minute since I've did one of these videos where I updated how I toss the chopper. Okay, and again, since the last one I did, which has been a while now, I've added a few things. You know, you're always trying to improve your toss, so you add a few things, you delete a few things. But so let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm gonna start off with again is the stance that I use. Okay, and when I say chopper, you can always put the 2.0 behind that because this is a new and improved chopper versus anything that's been previously put out there. All right, so first thing, the stance. As I get up to the table, I put my left leg forward and I brace it up. Left leg forward, right leg back, okay? And then I take and I pull my body into the table, pull my hip, okay? I don't know how well that shows up. I pull my hip into the table so I'm locked in, okay? I'm locked in. I square my body up because I'm stepping right into the table. I want my body locked in, okay? So again, I walk up, I'm at the table. When it's my turn to shoot, dice come. I take that left leg, brace it up under the table, take my right leg, and take my hands, pull up against the table, take my right hand as support and put it on top of the chip rail. Now I can reach down for the dice and put them in the pickup zone. Put them where I want them, which, incidentally, I'll talk about that here in a second. I'm gonna move one camera. I'm gonna see how this comes out. I'm gonna move this camera here. I'm gonna keep that second one running. So bear with me. This is gonna be a little Blair Witchy. This is the scary cam here. I'm trying to bring you guys in so we can get into the grip here. Okay, let's see. All right, so we got the stance. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna bring this other camera over just a little. Let's see if this one can pick up the overall action. And I got that big ass heater right there in the way. Okay. Don't know how much of it it's gonna catch, but okay. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Okay. So we got the stance. My left leg forward, right leg back. We're stepping into the table. Take two hands, pull your body in. Then my right hand goes on top of the chip rail to brace my body up. Reach down, gripping the dice on the cutting edge, okay? With the index finger and the thumb, okay? What I do, and I don't know how well this is gonna show up on cam, but I'm gonna talk you through the grip, okay? As I slide my hands down the top dice and I get to the seam right here, okay? Right now my fingers are literally at the seam, okay? What I do is I turn the dice, okay, so that the edges, that's the non-grip edges, are pointing at the 11 o'clock and about 3:30 to 4 o'clock position, okay? And then I take the middle finger and slide it down the backside. Then I release the grip and slide all fingers down to the bottom of the dice. Okay? So when I do that, it actually looks like this, with all fingers touching the felt. Okay? All fingers are literally slid down to the bottom of the dice. Again, let me talk you through that again. And I saw last night G made a comment and said that AOL, and what he said you may not want your finger to go down to the bottom. I said with this chopper here, 2.0, you want your finger to go down to the bottom, all the way down to the felt, okay? Again, you coming over the top, and as I get right here, okay, to where I have a hold of that bottom dice like this, okay? Because when I place the dice, that's another thing. When I place the dice in the pickup zone, okay, which is incidentally for me right about 6 to 7 inches from the, if that's the back wall down there, this is the side wall where we're standing at, because you're on the side of the table. The dice are sitting right at 6 to 7 inches. Matter of fact, tape measure. Let's measure it out. Okay, I lied. It's sitting right about 7 inches to the bottom. I use this M right here. So when I go on a table, like I said, a few things that I do to get myself oriented and all that stuff is to find those key where I want to pick the dice up and where I want to launch them from. So this is 7 inches from the back wall to the point of the dice. So when the dice are turned diagonal like that, about to the diagonal points of the dice is about 7.5 inches and probably 8 inches to the top of the die. Okay. So again, move in, grab the top dice. Okay, slide your fingers down. As soon, and when I'm sliding them down fairly tight because I want a nice firm grip at first. Okay. Once they get to that point right there where I'm making contact with the bottom die, okay, I take and I turn the whole stack, okay, to the 11 and 4 o'clock position. Then I take my middle finger and slide it down the back of the dice. Okay, when I slide it down, this is what it looks like back here. Don't know how well that shows up on camera, but I'm getting a lot of meat from my finger for stabilization on this back portion, okay, of the dice. Notice it's not out here on the edge. It's not, okay, my middle finger is not out here on the edge. It's on the bottom side of the dice, okay, providing stabilization. That becomes very important. If you don't do that, when you release your dice are gonna wobble, okay? Because there'll be no stabilization to them. And you can't see that a lot of time, but if you record it in slow-mo, trust me, I've learned and I know exactly what causes that. Okay, without that stabilization, unless you become adapt to throwing this toss like Cage has, and you could just grab them with 2 fingers and you know, like when he does the spread eagle chopper. Not gonna get into that, but okay, so let's go back. Again, the grip. We're coming over the top. First, you place the dice diagonal. I don't place them square, okay, so that the flat side is facing the back wall. No, okay. What works best for me, okay, is place them down like a diamond, okay, so both point up and down, diagonal. Then as soon as I come in over the top, I grip the top dice, push it down onto the bottom die. As soon as my fingers hit the seam, I turn the whole stack so that the non-grip edge, the 2 points, are now pointing at 11 and 4 o'clock. Then I take the middle finger and slide it down the bottom die, okay? Slide it down the bottom die for stabilization. Then I loosen up the grip and slide both fingers down, both my thumb and index finger down to the bottom of the dice. So everything is touching the felt. And as you can see, even back here on the thumb, okay, if you're gripping the dice correctly, you're gonna have good grip action, okay, good grip contact with your thumb on the back side of the dice. Okay, it's not gonna be like off to the side or, no. You'll have a perfect skin contact, good contact on all corners of the dice with your 3 fingers, okay? Coming over the top. As soon as we hit the seam, turn the stack, introduce the middle finger to stabilize, slide both fingers down. In order to slide both fingers down the stack, you have to, of course, loosen up your grip. Because initially, when I grip the top dice, I'm gripping it pretty firm. It's not a loose grip, okay? So, coming over the top, pushing the top dice onto the bottom. As soon as I hit the seam, I can stop right there and pick both dice up, okay? However, this is where we turn the stack to 11 and 4 o'clock position, introduce the middle finger for stabilization, loosen up the thumb and index finger and slide them straight down to the bottom of the stack. Now we have the dice fully gripped, okay? Fully gripped. This is what the dice look like. And the thumb is making contact practically with, I'm gonna say, at least 80-90% of the top die. So you have both, you're making contact with both dice pretty solid. The middle finger is providing stabilization. It's not on the cutting edge, okay? The middle finger is not on the cutting edge. I don't know how many times I can say that or show it. It's just up along the side here, okay? Up along the side. The index finger is on the cutting edge. The thumb, okay, from top to bottom is on the cutting edge. The middle finger is on the side of the dice providing stabilization, okay? It's not out here on the edge. It's not up here. It's, so once again, guys, like Cage always says, man, this grip is problematic. It's problematic. If you don't grip the dice correctly, trying to toss the chopper 2.0 can be a bitch, all right? As soon as I get here, I'm making contact with the seam. I'm gonna turn the dice, introduce a middle finger, then loosen up the grip and slide both fingers down to the bottom. Now I got the dice grip fully. What I do is I move my hand from the pickup position to the launch position, okay? And what works for me is having the dice about a 1/2 inch or less above the table, and I push the dice out with hyper spin, okay? Like this. Okay, that wasn't a great toss because I've been messing around with it. However, let's see if I can, well, the long cam may have picked that up. So, tell you what. Now let's get into tossing itself. Okay, let's bring this cam up to regular height. The Blair Witch cam, make sure I got it locked in. Okay, might have a little glare from the sun at this time of day, but I'm trying to do all this in the daylight. I don't want to, well, I could have turned on my lights and all that stuff, but okay, let's just go with it. And it's a little windy out here too, so don't know how well this is going to show up. So again, let's toss a couple, and I'm gonna tell you when I release the toss, like Kate says, it's a low line drive toss, okay? And what we're striving for, those flat landings, bounce minimization, dice scatter, okay, controlling the scatter and keeping the dice closely cropped. All right, so as the drill sergeant used to say, at 100 and 180 is what it looks like. Come in, grip the dice, turn them, introduce the middle finger, all fingers down to the felt, bring it around, dice off. Okay? Again, flat landings. And how you know the dice are landing flat? Guys, it's simple. Listen to the dice. Okay? Listen to the dice. They'll let you know that they're landing flat. Alright? And we want the dice to stay closely cropped. Now, you know, as a lefty, everything that we do, most of us anyhow, has a degree of difficulty to it. You know, some people say we're awkward. You know, looks a little, I know. I may not have the prettiest looking toss out there. Might look a little awkward, a little weird, because I'm a lefty, but oh well, you know, so be it. Now, all that being said is, my dice, normally when they land, okay, and my landing zone is anywhere from this 12 back to about the C&E. That's a big ass landing zone, isn't it? Anywhere in there, okay? They'll skip, hop, trickle, and go up to the back wall. My dice normally goes off to the left. But guess what? I used to try to correct for that. However, I stopped, okay? Long as the dice are doing the same shit over and over and over, I'm good with that, okay? That means I'm consistent. That's what we strive for in any type of control shooting. Getting the dice to do the same thing over and over, okay? And my dice normally will go to the left, so I'm happy with that. That's not an issue. That is not an issue. All right, so here we go. Let's toss a couple. All right, using the 5-4-5-4 hardway set. Grip the top dice, hit the seam, turn the dice, the 11 to 4 o'clock position, introduce the middle finger, all fingers go down to the felt. Oh, something else I forgot to mention, okay? When my fingers slide down the dice and touch the felt, I release the pressure. I release the pressure that I have, you know. Initially, when I come in and I grip the top die, okay, I push the top die down onto the bottom until I get to the seam, okay? I'm pushing down the top die, you know, until I get to the seam right here, okay? As soon as I get there, and I turn the dice, because everything is nice and tight here, okay? Both dice are literally feeling like a brick, okay? Just the way you want them. I turn them to that 11 and 4 o'clock position, introduce the middle finger, then I loosen up the pressure and allow both the thumb and index finger to slide all the way down to the felt, okay? And I keep that pressure loose, okay? Keep that pressure just as is. Face off, okay? Because you don't want to toss the dice, and that's a 6-1, okay? Not a good toss. You don't want to toss the dice. You don't want to have the grip tight, too tight, okay? You want the grip moderate pressure. Initially, when I grip the top dice and I come in over the top, okay, I'm pushing down, putting good pressure on it until as soon as I hit the seam and I turn the dice, okay, at this point everything feels like a solid brick. I introduce the middle finger for stabilization. Now I can release the pressure and slide both the thumb and the index finger down to the felt. Once they get there, I'm literally all the way down at the bottom of the dice, all fingers making contact. Now I can pick them up, bring them around. Very loose, moderate pressure on the dice. Dice off. And that's it. Release. That's what we want. The dice to land out here, okay, which is about 20 inches, in my case, 20 inches plus from the landing zone, and trickle their way up to the back wall, which means you got to be putting in just the right amount of energy, okay, the right amount of input into the dice. If you put too much in there, the dice are gonna careen off the back wall, okay, and you're gonna get a lot of kickback. It's very hard to do, okay. You know, again, I watch George from CY nightly. We all watch him, okay, most nights, because he's there every night and every morning. And, you know, his dice, when they land solid. They stay pretty much closely cropped. I mean, George has mastered the GTC par 3-finger grip, and is a master at it, you know. And I've got to play with George and watch him throw it live, and guess what? He kills it, you know. I got to play with G. And looking forward to playing down at Brownwater Bass here coming up in May. Looking forward to seeing you guys down there. You know, you got to get your game face on. You got to practice up. Leave all the bullshit aside. The casino is the bad guy. That's what we need to be worried about, taking casino money. Let's go get the fucking casino money. That's what I want to focus on. All right. Let's throw another one. Dice off. All right, we got a little dice scatter on that. Not a little, major dice scatter. Okay. Again, if that was okay, then fuck it. All our toss might as well be looking. That's every now and then you're gonna end up with that, and it ain't about looking pretty. Again, it's all about fuck it. You got to be trying to provide some type of control. If all you're gonna do is take the dice up and bring them down there and worry about what comes up on the top, then you know, shit. No need of practicing every day. I'm out here fucking practicing every day. You know, morning, noon, and night, rain, snow, sleet, hail. You know, hell, been out here in the middle of thunderstorm practicing. So, you know, I'm practicing to get the dice not to scatter, to come to a quick stop. You know, closely cropped. You know, flat landing. Shit, you gotta know what you got to be striving for something if you're trying to call yourself a control shooter. Not just taking the dice up and go, oh, look, I didn't get a 7. I got a 5, 4, 9. You know, in that case, guess what? I got a toss for you. It's called a flip. Okay? If you're not gonna worry about what the fuck you doing with the dice and where they go, and all we worry about is the top numbers, then you need to be working on the flip, okay? Swing them over your shoulder. Fuck it. That's all you need to do. Swing them over your shoulder. Incidentally, I know a lady down there in Shreveport. What's her name? I think her name is Keisha. That's Keisha's toss. Guess what? I was up on the ATS, and Keisha had a 36-year-old. Keisha winged it and boom, hit the frigging all. I was like, yes, you the man. Shit. So it works. I mean, you know, and she was pretty damn good at it. So, you know, I just prefer to, you know, have my dice, and her dice was flying all over the fucking table, and dealers were like, yeah, you know, hey, you know, again, you get paid for the numbers that's on the top. However, if you're trying to call yourself a control shooter, you should be trying to provide some type of control on the dice up to the point where they hit the table, and even when they come to a rest. And that's by providing the correct amount of input so you get the desired output that you're looking for. Okay, so they didn't hit flat, but again, they stayed up there. Like I said, a lot of my dice, a lot of my toss will end up going into that left corner, up into that hook. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I've learned to embrace it, you know, because guess what? I'm pretty damn consistent at it. All right. 5 4 5 4. Take some. Okay. So we careened off the back wall a little hard there. Solid. Okay. If I'm shooting and I see that happening, the first thing I'm going to do is note to self. Next toss, either one, pay attention to where the dice are landing, because you know sometimes you get that adrenaline going, and I'm trying to get the dice to drop in around here, and because of my adrenaline, they're dropping in up here, way too close to the back wall. So of course they're gonna careen, you know. They're gonna hit off the back wall, and you're gonna get all kind of crazy dice scatter. That is not what we're looking for. Okay, so. Okay. Again, from the sound of that, I can tell once again they didn't hit flat, but they stayed closely cropped and they trickled up to the back wall. Okay? And ideally, when I toss the chopper 2.0, I try to get the dice to trickle up to the back wall without rolling out. Okay? Not trying to reverse direction. I mean, shit happens, but oh well. Again, you got to know what you're looking for. You know, what does right look like? If you don't know what right look like, then fuck it. Just do anything then. You know, and you know, think you're doing it right when really you just screwing yourself. Say so. Okay. Again, that's what we strive for right there. I don't care that my dice are going into the left hook here. That's okay. Long as they stay tightly cropped, they don't roll out, careen back down, a bunch of dice scatter halfway down the fucking table, I'm happy with it. Okay? And that's what you should be striving for. You know, like I said, characteristics of the chopper, you know. Okay, that was grip, release. Did I miss anything? Cover the stance, cover the grip. And you know what? Once you get that down, then fuck it. You can use any set. Then you can go back until you get the mechanics of the toss down. Guys, don't even, you know, where is it? Where they at? I ain't even got my damn, you know, what I do with them. Anyhow, I got my, shit, I did something with them. Okay, there they go. I got two Sharpie dice here that I practice with on a regular. That's all black, some all black dice. Okay, and you know, that's the focus on the mechanics of the toss as opposed to worrying about what the top number was. You know, did I throw it 7 or whatever? No, get the mechanics of the toss down first before you even worry about, you know, the top number. Okay, after you're happy with your mechanics and the dice are landing, staying closely cropped, not rolling out, you know, you're getting those flat landings and you got good pitch control, then figure out what set. You know, hell, start off with a 3V, start off with the hard way. You know, see what the dice are doing, whether you're double pitching so you end up with that 5-2 7 out, or if you're getting a 6-1, you know, your dice are exploding, as George would say. Okay, and adjust accordingly and find the set that matches your toss. You know, I know what set matches my toss. I know what my dice normally do and how to counteract it. You know, if I'm throwing a 3V, normally I have it offset by one click with the dice turn towards me, okay? Because I'm prone to one dice, you know, double pitching, you know. So when you guys see me picking up the dice now, you should have a good idea of exactly what I'm doing. That's what I strive for right there, okay? Every time. Flat landings, dice stay closely cropped, triple up to the back wall. I know, fuck it. You get paid on what's on top. However, by being able to impart your control in the dice, I dare say you probably have a higher degree of coming up with the desired results that you're looking for a given set. Whether it's 2V, 3V, cross sixes, whatever. Alright, I'm gonna stop running my mouth here and shut it down. Yo, this been the Saj giving you my 2 cents and how I toss the chopper 2.0. If the chopper been around forever, I'm gonna say the chopper that I learned from Cage over the last 4 years is the new style chopper. And with any new thing that comes up, we call it 2.0, right? I think version 2.0 is better. All right, that's my 2 cents. Saj out.